When I was a young boy, someone said to me, I think it was my dad, said, "You're a minute man." And of course, I knew about the minute men. You know, those are the guys that are ready to go to battle. They're ready to go like 5 minutes ago, not a minute ago. They're ready to go. And I thought, oh, I'm a minute man. He said, "You want everything to happen in the next minute." So I really wasn't a minute man. I was a minute man that was there. And I think we're probably minute men also. We're impatient. We want everything to happen in the next minute. And I want tonight just to read you a couple of scriptures about what we're really supposed to be doing. The scriptures talk a lot about waiting, about specifically waiting on the Lord. That's there. And we don't do that as often as we should. We get ahead of the Lord. Like Abraham and Sarah, they got way ahead of the Lord, and the outcome of that, we all know what the outcome of that was not very good at all for them. So anyway, in Psalms 37, verse 7, rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. In Proverbs 20 and 22, wait for the Lord and he will save you. Lamentations 3 and 25, the Lord is good to those who wait for him, to the person who seeks him. And then in James, therefore be patient, brethren, until the coming of the Lord. And then he goes on and talks about the farmer and how the farmer has to be patient, waiting for what he's put into the ground. And I grow some tomatoes and some things like that, and cucumbers, things. And it's really a little impatient, and sometimes you even have to replant them. So patience is involved there. And and then when I think of, you know, the kind of country that we've gotten into now, and Daniel has preached some really good sermons over the last couple of weeks about, it really doesn't make any difference. It's all important to us, you know, physically and for our children and grandchildren. But you know what? It all doesn't make any difference if we just wait on the Lord. Because I tell you, Daniel said it, we can't do anything about it, really. It's all in the Lord's hands, and he's going to do what he wants to do. And I'm so sick of the news. I think we really ought to just take all the news off of our TVs and not listen to them at all, because they're a discouragement to us in our waiting on the Lord for him to install things. And in Luke chapter 13, if we think about what the Lord did for us, let me curious over there. And when the Lord was coming over and looked down in Jerusalem, he looked at Jerusalem and said, "Oh, Jerusalem, Jerusalem." And I don't think I have the oratory, would you say, to be able to properly express how that must have sounded when the Lord said that. Because I think he wasn't suffering, but he was disappointed. The disappointment that must have been in his voice when he was there. When he said, "Oh, Jerusalem, Jerusalem, the city that killed the prophets, that stoned those who were sent to her. How often would I have gathered your children together, just as a hen gathers her brood under her wings, but you would not." And we kind of get like that sometimes ourselves. We just would not. That's there. Because we have to wait on the Lord, and we have to seek the Lord in order for him to be pleasant with us. That waiting is not sitting back and just waiting for it to happen. I think it's really an active word, especially based on the one where it says, "those that seek him," that I just read. So that's what we want to be doing. And that's what the Lord expects of us. And how much more disappointment is in his voice today, seeing that he was here and that he was willing to suffer the things that he did for you and for me on the cross, when he says to us, he was willing but we would not. So if you would tonight, whatever you need, and we'd like to know about it, how we could help you, assist you. If you're interested in obeying the gospel, even better, as we had Sunday, as we stand and sing.